Hi Capricorn, and welcome to your weekly love tarot forecast. This is for the week of December 31st through January 6th. It's the end of the year, if you can believe that. Happy New Year's to everybody out there. So Capricorn, let's take a look and see how your matters of the heart are going to unfold this week. Look at this, Capricorn. Over here, I typically see this as your energy this side, but you can swap it. You know, it's general. So this card coming out over here, some of you, there is a deep, deep intimacy that is brewing between you and another, or rekindling between you and a current partner you're already committed to. This could be where this week you're just feeling really close, really bonded to your committed partner, the person you're dating, okay? Others of you that are freshly dating somebody new and you guys are exploring each other for the first time intimately at some point this week, it's very connecting, it's very soul. It's not just I'm not talking about just a hookup. This is something special. And what you're feeling, they're feeling. You guys are going to feel it equally. And it might be intense. And remember, connections like that can sometimes scare people, right? Because it's like, whoa, how does this exist? Like, you know, I never felt this way for somebody else. And you and I have known each other for 5 minutes. And whoa, right? Sometimes that's the case. Now, for others of you, this message is a little bit different, okay? So you have to be truthful with yourself and apply this how it fits. This here could be calling your attention to, are you denying yourself true intimacy by the relationship that you currently entertain or relationships that you entertain? Is there a lack of emotional intimacy? Is the physical intimacy just that, you know, the act of it? There's no real soul connection to it. So if you've been kind of in that vibe where you're questioning your connection to somebody or just your past connections, you're on the right path. This is saying, yes, there is deeper emotion that should be involved. There's deeper connection that can be had for you, but you've got to be willing to open yourself up and be vulnerable to the right person, okay? It's all about discernment, because sometimes people will walk 5,000 miles and do everything they're supposed to do, and then, you know, they get it and they're out, right? That's just how some people operate. But the more you're in tune with yourself and recognize how sacred you are and what, you know, true sexual connection is about, you will see that energy for what it is. You'll feel the falsity of all of their actions in romantic ways as they're doing it, and you just won't, you'll be like, look, you're fake, you're phony, I'm not down. Like, I see what you're trying here, and I'll give you credit. You work really hard to get what you want, but I see what your end goal is, and I'm not that person. So you should just go on with yourself, right? So Capricorn, it's all about intimacy this week somehow, some way. And over on this side, oh nice, we have the Gardener. Kind of a similar energy, actually. It doesn't have to be about intimacy specifically, but the Gardener is somebody who is doing the inner work, purging the emotional baggage, you know, really in a positive place. So those of you where this connection is happening this week and it's unfolding, whether this is a newer person or this is your current committed partner, you both are really connected. You both are putting in the work, the energy, the effort, and it's a nice flow of energy. Those of you who this is more about the thought of what intimacy means to you, and you know, should you really be opening yourself up to higher expectations, you know? I'll give you an example. So my middle daughter is a Sagittarius, and she is a high maintenance princess. Like, oh my gosh, I'm like, how did you come from me? But that's her, and she knows it. But she is willing to give that same energy to her relationships. She doesn't just expect people to, you know, indulge her desires and whims and not have to give anything back. She really, you know, does give back, okay? It's that equal give. But my point to this is, you know, she was in a relationship where the person that she was seeing didn't really accept that aspect of her, you know, that princessy air about her. And I was like, look, you are who you are, and no, I don't think you should be a princess, but you are, and that's okay because you own it, but you love and you give just as much as you expect from others. So I accept that, and anybody that's going to be with you needs to accept that about you, because, you know, if she were just like demanding give me, then no way, nobody should accommodate that, okay? So what I see here is where maybe some of you have kind of self-sacrificed who you are because whoever you were interested in or dating kind of made you feel bad about that aspect of yourself. And the thing is, we all are who we are, and we all have our flaws, and we all have our strengths, and it's about a balance of things. It's not about perfection and elimination. It's about balance, okay? And behaviors and patterns that are extremely detrimental, you know, I don't like to say it's time to eliminate that, because nothing is truly eliminated. It's an experience. It's a part of your Akashic record for all of eternity. What I mean is where we're shifting in perception and consciousness, which allows us to vibrate at a higher frequency, which elevates us out of those type of experiences and situations. And I see you really getting that, really focusing on that, and deciding, I am not going to self-sacrifice for anybody. If I'm doing my work, then I expect them to do their work. If I can own myself, they better own themselves. Like, here's another example. I am a horrible passenger in the car with anybody. With anybody, I don't care. I don't care. I've tried to work on it. I was in an accident, and it scarred me in ways that I just haven't been able to get past. And so whenever I get into the vehicle with a new person, I'm like, here's your advisory warning. I suck as a passenger. I get really nervous and jumpy, and I don't want you to take offense. It's not about you. It's about me, and I can't get past it. So I'm sorry. It is what it is. Just deal with it. And then if they try to complain as we're driving, I'm like, nope, I gave you the advisory warning, and I own it, and I recognize I need to continue to work on this anxiety and heal whatever traumatized me that makes me such a nervous passenger. And that's something, you know, very light and subtle. I get it, but that's my point of things. When somebody can own themselves, own their behavior, it's a different energy. It's not, how can you judge that? You can't, right? It's like, okay, yeah, and I get that I need to work on these things, but you know what? It doesn't take away from who I am and my greatness, and it goes both ways, okay? So those of you where you've kind of been self-sacrificing to please somebody else, you're kind of seeing the light and like, I'm not interested in that. Like, you need to please me as much as I'm pleasing you, because it's all about give and take and compromise, right? It's not always 100% equal, 50-50, right, at all times, but there's compromise. And again, we are all made the way we're made, flawed or otherwise, and there's no such thing as perfection. It's about balance and things rounding out and frequency and vibration. So anyways, let's keep going here. All right, first house, the body. Yeah, look at that. It's like, I won't sacrifice myself unless you can own yourself and be willing to work towards healing and whatever needs to happen. I'm not interested. Now, For others of you, where this is more about a really nice flow of energy between you and another person, it's just reiterated right here, very passionate, very fiery, because the first house is ruled by Aries and Mars, so it's very masculine, very passionate, full of fire, very nice, very, very nice. And oh goodness, it just gets better and better. Over here we have Jupiter return benefits. Yep. Again, those of you on this nice stream of energy with you and your partner, where we are in the vibes this week, we're flowing connection. They're like thinking they're lucky stars for you, or you're thinking you're lucky stars for them. It's a lot of happiness, a lot of intimacy, a lot of connection between you and another person. Now, again, there's this other story going where some of you are coming into the recognition that this is what you deserve out of somebody, and if they're not willing to give it, then that's probably not the right person or relationship for you, or at least until they can get it together and figure it out, right? So let's pull some more cards, Capricorn. Strong fire, because first house is Aries and Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So strong fire energy, fire signs in Caps reading. Look at that. Purge. Yup. Contemplation. And offer. Yes. So those of you where you're coming into that realization this week, here it is. Right there in these three cards, everything I just said, where what's not serving you, where you have to really self-sacrifice, it's time to purge those relationships. Or if this is something of the past you've really been hung up on, of why did this happen to me, or why did they screw me over like that, or just caused a really deep, deep hurt within you, it's time to purge that and recognize that they were not giving as much as you were. And sometimes that just happens. It's a matter of consciousness, and not everybody is working from the same consciousness or level of consciousness, to be fair, right? So you've got to keep that in mind, and that's why, you know, all the teachings say you should never take anything personally, because we're all just on these different frequencies and vibes, and, you know, we're crossing wires, and we misinterpret and we make things about ourselves, and it hurts, and we don't recognize that, you know, somebody who really, really hurts you and treats you badly, it's because that was done to them at some point in their life, and that vibration is so strong, the wound of that is so strong that they project it out, and they repeat what has happened to them. And that has nothing to do with you. It's not about that you are unlovable, or you're not worth it, or your value is less. It's all about that wound that exists within them, and it has to be purged. Now, because this is general, Capricorn, this could also be about you, where you've been accepting far less than you deserve, or putting up with it because of some wounds that exist inside of you, and it's really time to purge those and release and move on, because you do deserve this. This is exactly, you know, Spirit's like, you deserve happiness, blessings, for somebody to love you just as you are. Yes, even the things you see as flawed or imperfect about you, you're lovable, and you've got to know that, and you're coming into that understanding, okay? And as we purge and move through this energy, it's creating the opportunity for new romance to come into your world, something that's much more aligned, where there is that intimacy and connection, all right? Now, for those of you where the energy is that sorry, my nose is a little stuffy. For those of you where the energy is nice and flowing between you and your partner, or whoever you're dating this week, it looks like we're getting over just some stuff of the past, and we've really thought about it. You know, somebody's really thought about it, and they're like, you know what, here's a truce. Let's just forget about that. Let's just start the new year off on a different energy, on a different note, you know? I'm in it. We're both in it equally. Let's do this. Let's make, you know, this relationship all that it can be. It's quite beautiful. And just because we have Jupiter return there and offer with the gardener, Capricorn, this could be where, you know, somebody is showing back up this week, and they're telling you that they've changed, and they have thought about things and they want to offer you. Yeah, look at that. Just as I'm saying that, the World card in this position flies out, which is, it's on the side, completion, on the side, not complete. So some of you, this is a situation of back and forth, and you know, because this is general, when I talk about somebody returning, when I see that, people take that so to heart, and I don't know how to emphasize that this is a general reading. So it's not like, hey, this is what's happening in your world. It's more about, does this resonate for you? Okay, you're on this trajectory stream of energy, then this reading is for you. It is about you. But if this is not what's going on in your life at all, then no, this isn't speaking to you whatsoever. This is just the story of the cards. And, you know, if it's not a personal reading, even if it feels like it's speaking to you 100%, you should always just view it as like a guidance, really, because it's not a personal storyline. I'm not seeing any one person, but what's coming through is what Spirit feels you need to hear, or you need to focus on, or truly, this is your reading. You know, it just depends. You never know. It's general, and it's up to Spirit. So there's somebody returning for some of you, and they are definitely in the place where they're ready to do what it takes, Capricorn. They're in it to win it, okay? Yeah, because look at this 10 of Cups. This is like, you're my one. I'm willing to do what it takes. Those of you that are in this nice flow of energy with your partner, we're getting rid of something that's happened in the past, and kind of like, we're too strong for this. We've come too far. Like, let's get past this. Let's move beyond it. Yeah, because look at contemplation with the 9 of Swords. It's kind of been a hard thing, right? How do we agree on this, or how do I see past this? And look at this 8 of Wands with the offer. It comes for both of you. Just very natural flow of energy where you recognize our love is so beautiful and strong. We have this history. No, we shouldn't be breaking up or fighting. Let's just put this behind us and move forward. And I feel that's exactly what you both should do. The reading is so nice. And now those of you where this is somebody returning from the past, they've really thought about things, okay? They haven't shared that with you, but they've really thought about things. And look at 8, 9, 10. So, yeah, they've come full circle, and what they say they mean 100%, and they have changed. They've really thought about things. All right. And those of you where there's this story of the contemplation, where you're in this recognition of where we've settled, it's like you're going to have a breakthrough about that this week, where you just see the light and you're like, I never saw it that way. And I don't know, I feel like there's somebody new coming in for some Capricorns out there. So let's pull final card here. Yeah, High Priestess of Air. This is having a very balanced mental body. Contemplation, 9 of Swords. We've really, really, really thought about things. Deep analysis. Whether that's you, or who you're involved with, or who's returning to you. It's all about that analysis. And I'm ready to let the past go. Whatever that means for you. A purge. Because you sense this energy trying to come in. And those of you in committed relationships, it's just like, it's time to rest your mind, and the past is the past, and what you guys have is definitely worth fighting for. And you know, it's just, somebody's got to kind of forgive and forget and let some things go. But nonetheless, a Capricorn, you guys have very nice romantic energies in store for this week. So those are your messages, Capricorn. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.